Wow. Episode 7, guys. I'm really happy to have made it this far. Welcome to the Alpha ISK guides, and this is episode 7. Now, episode 7 is a bit different. We are going to be doing mission running today. Mission running is an absolutely great way to make ISK. It is by far one of my favorite methods, and if you haven't done so yet, I highly recommend you create a character purely for mission running, and you put that character in low security space where it's going to make sense for you personally in terms of what you want to achieve in the game. I have made this particular character maxed out for Sisters of Eve, Epic Arcs, and Sisters of Eve mission running. I've found myself a nice little pocket of space where I can get level 3 combat missions, and I've actually fitted up the mighty Hurricane. The Hurricane is a great little ship for mission running. As an alpha character, you're not going to have the option for shield command bursts, but this can still tank quite a bit. We can see here I've got about 30,919 EHP, 8,165 of that is in shields. If I did have my shield booster, I would basically get command bursts to extend my charges, but because I don't, I'm just going to unfit that, and I'm going to take that off my hull. That way I've got more power to do what I want to do. Now, I've fitted this up with the 650mm medium scout artillery 1 guns. Now, they are all in all the slots possible. You obviously have 3 launcher slots as well. I could potentially, if you wanted to, put a rocket launcher there. Or a missile launcher. I have put in a large shield extender 2, invul fields, 2 of them. They're going to give me bonuses in resistance. I've also got my compact damage control, Gyrostabilizers, 3 of them, 2 shield recharges as well, power relays, and shield rigs. In my drone bay, currently I've only got Hobgoblin 1, so that's fine. If you have the skills, put something else in there. It's up to you. In my actual cargo, I've just got extra ammo, EMP, phase plasma, and fusion. I don't know why I have that there. I don't need it. That there, I don't need it. I think I've just looted those. So I've got enough ammo in there to do a couple of missions. Now, you might notice that I'm in low security space at the moment. It's negative 0.2 status. So this is an area of space where you're going to get the most rewards for missions, but you're also going to have the most risk for missions, so you need to be careful. As always, I've told you, check your D-scans, check local, make sure you know what's going on in the area that you're in before taking on missions, and obviously taking on the missions is going to give you some great rewards. You can see here that I've got a Mortis Headhunter objective. It's in my current location. The reward for this is nearly 2.5 mil plus 3,403 loyalty points. Great little mission. There is a bit of a red text here saying that these Mortis goons are no laughing matter. Don't underestimate them. I might look up this mission before doing it, because some of these missions can be very difficult. I'm just going to check to make sure that there's no big red flags here. Now, we are doing the level 3 version of this mission. There's a couple of levels of this mission. So one thing I do recommend doing is, if you do have a mission and you're not quite sure what it does, open up your browser, search for the mission's name, and you will get information like this. Now, in the first pocket, there are 7 frigates, 2 cruisers, in the first group, and then there's 3 frigates and 3 cruisers. And then in the second pocket, there is 10 frigates, 2 interceptors, which have a web and a scram, and 7 cruisers. To be honest, I'm probably going to decline this mission, mostly because there's scrams on those 2 interceptors, and there's a lot of frigates. Just with the ship that I have, frigates are very, very annoying. It takes a lot longer. So I'm happy to decline this. Now, you can decline 1 mission, I believe it's every 3 to 4 hours, without taking a standings loss. If you decline more than that, you will take a standings loss. So just be aware of that. Alrighty, so we've requested another mission here. This one looks a bit better. It does have ship restrictions. We can take our ship. I think we're in an attack battle cruiser, so it's fine. Obviously, it's got a smaller reward. It's 1.7 million, but the loyalty points aren't bad either. What do we need to do? We need to find the container and return it to the agent. So it's pretty simple, and I'll show you why these missions are really easy to do. So we have accepted. There is someone new in local here, so we just need to be careful. He seems to be part of some Russian alliance. We might be okay. Let's just be careful when we undock. Hopefully we're fine. So we are going to undock. And you can see here that this particular mission is not in this system. So we're going to need to set our destination and head off that way. So to get to this level, it is highly recommended to do all the missions you need to basically get yourself to level 3 missions. Once you are at level 3 missions, then these missions are going to be a lot easier, and they're going to pay a lot more ISK. But as you can see, I am constantly on the lookout with my D-scan. The last thing you want to do is get killed in this space. Know your optimals as well. This particular fit is optimal within 13, but it can shoot up until 40. We've also got the shield invul fields, which will give us invulnerability and better shield tanking for X amount of time. So my mission hub is JTAC CIJV, but I am also heading towards, now that gate's firing, someone's coming through, or someone has just left. So yeah, just keep in mind where you started the mission, because you're going to eventually need to go back as well. But level 3 missions, they can be very easy, they can be very simple. It's not too hard to do them. We've got Hornet drones on this gate, which means that someone might have been tackled earlier. I mean, the smart thing to do is actually to check either gate camp whilst traveling and make sure that I don't die. But what's this guy selling for 240 million ISK? It's a Gila. Pretty sure. Let's have a quick look. But the smart thing to do is essentially check your gate camps, check Z kill board, make sure you don't fall into the trap of gate camps, but I potentially may, because I'm just not checking. So yeah, make sure you're doing that. That is not a good trade. That is $60 million overpriced, so we'll leave that. And of course, check your D-scan, and make sure your D-scan is filtered correctly as well. Let's put our mission overview up and continue. Now, with combat missions, you will find acceleration gates leading into some, which is great, because what that means is if you do get combat scanned, people will need to basically arrive at the acceleration gate before coming in. I didn't realize Eve had some great mission music. So if you do get in a situation where you are getting scanned down by combat scanners, then you can obviously use this. Now, the problem is I will need to kill everything here before using the next gate, I'm pretty sure. I will try that, but what I'll do is I'll just approach and I'll lock up as many targets as possible. But yeah, closer targets the better. I'll turn on one of my shields. So let's just select this cruiser here. Let's kill him first. We might need to unlock some of these targets. They're too close, they're too far away. And let's get these frigates locked up and the closer targets locked up. This can be very AFK. There is a Hecate out as well. I'll need to keep my eye on that. With my frigates, I'm going to put them... with my drones, I'm going to put them on the frigates because they are more likely to cause me some damage. And I will basically continue on there. Turn on my second shield now that things are getting closer slowly. And my drones will kill the frigates because they are harder to track in an attack battlecruiser. Essentially, this is how it will go for most of the time. You should also have your combat log up to see what's hitting you and for how much. Yeah, I would put that out separately just to keep an eye on it and see what's going on. See if I can kill this frigate with a single volley. I'll probably miss, but yeah, that's pretty much it. The mission objectives are always written here on the left, so always keep your eye on that. Now, because I'm in low security space and I don't live here, I actually live in high security space, even on this character, I am not going to haul a whole bunch of loot. Look, you know, you can go around and look, see if there's anything in there. My ship's not that agile, and I know that these NPCs don't drop that much loot, so I'm not too worried on losing ISK in drops. There has been a lot of these guys coming in and out of this space. They live around here. So I have sort of been keeping my eye on it. I don't want to end up being their target. You know, alliances are very organized. They will watch where you're going, how you got there, and they'll know, like, that's probably your route back. So last thing I want to do is end up dying to these guys. Anyway, I am going to go into the next room now. I have been sort of scouted a couple of times now, but I'm not too concerned. I haven't seen any combat probes out. I haven't seen, you know, people trying to scan me. And these guys, most of them have basically been going through, like, traveling through here. So, not too concerned. I'm going to go to the next room. I'm going to finish this mission up. And then we're going to reap the rewards, including being paid the bounties out, which will be paid based on, you know, all the things we've killed. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's a large collidable object called a bloody bestower. It doesn't have a ship tag. Welcome to Eve missions. This is the biggest problem. Sometimes the missions, they do this, and it's really frustrating. And what's the bit? It goes, there it is, it's a cargo container now. So frustrating. CCP, this needs to be fixed. Alright, so we have killed the docked bestower, apparently. Now we just need to loot it and take it back. So let's go do that. Alrighty, so we are now back in our home system, and we are going to go dock up and turn the mission in. Now, one thing is that we've also been rewarded loyalty points. You'll notice here I've got about 33,002 Sister of Eve loyalty points. I've also got about 25,000 Faction Warfare loyalty points there with State Protectorate, and all these other missions that I've done in the past to get the loyalty points that I need. So as you do missions, you do get rewarded loyalty points. You'll notice that this one in particular was about 3,000, and it ranges anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000 loyalty points per mission at level 3. And these are great because you can use these to basically turn them into money. And I'll show you how to do that now. So let's first complete the mission. To complete the mission, it's very simple. Talk to the agent that gave you the mission, press complete mission, and Bob's your uncle. There you go, another 1.8 million. So this mission alone netted us a cool 2.8, almost 3 million with the bounties without looting. If we count this loot that we got, it's an additional, I don't know, another 1.4 on top. But, you know, it's not a big deal. We're not going to really sell that because this isn't our home system. I mean, you can if you want to. Personally, I don't have the patience for it. So, we are Sisters of Eve, the loyalty points. So, sorry. So we did get our loyalty points for that too. Now you can see here, this is the loyalty point store. I've talked about this in previous episodes as well when we talked about distribution running and missions. But essentially you can see here all the different things you can buy with loyalty points. What we can do is we can just show what's affordable and then, you know, go from top to bottom. This one here is a nice one, mining connections. It gives quite a bit of ISK. I've sold that one before. I'm not going to buy this here because I'm too far from where I can sell it. But if you go closer to a trade hub, Amara in particular has SOE loyalty point stores pretty close. Mining connections is a pretty decent one to give you ISK reward. And I will show you now how this operates. So I'm going to go to the browser. So this is a website called LP Store from Fuzzworks. So if you Google fuzzworks.co.uk/LP Store is the website. Over here you can pick where you're going to sell. So for me personally, I think that is domain, which is where Amar is. So let's go domain. And then over here you can pick the loyalty store, which is Sisters of Eve. If I can spell. Where is it? Can I just do that? There we go, Sisters of Eve. You can include blueprints, I don't. And then you can do buy or sell prices. So sell is the top sell orders, buy is the sell it now, I believe. So let's go corporation buy prices and let's have a look. So over here you can see the buy price, the ISK price, the LP price. You can see that someone is buying one of these for, I think, 145 mil, something like that. I may have clicked the wrong button previously. Let's go back. I think it's sell that we want. Let's go back to this. Sell straight away. There we go. That's better. So, costs 150,000 ISK and 375 LP to buy a implant, and you can sell it for 3 mil, but there's only one being sold right now. That is about 7,600 ISK per loyalty point, which is not bad, not bad. And you can go through and look at all of these. So for example, this one here, it costs 28,350 LP, and you 18.9 million ISK. If you buy that and you sell it in Amar, then plus the 4.2 million because you need the ocular filter beta, you can later sell that for 135 million ISK. Essentially 20 to 135, it's almost times 10. So you can make a decent profit doing the loyalty point conversion outside of just doing the ISK, running. Another website to have a look at is IFFA. IFFA is basically, if you ever want to check the price of something in Eve, you can go to this website and basically check the price. So IFFA is like an estimator for items. So in here, I was looking at that mining connections skill book, for example. I can literally just type in mining connections there, and it will tell me that to buy it straight away, it is 22.8 million. If I wanted to sell it at the market value in Amar, it's 33.5 million. So if I go back to here and have a look, so for 15,000 LP and 10 million ISK, I can make an additional 23 million ISK profit. And I think I can buy 2 of those, so that's 60 million ISK profit. So every 10 missions, I can make 60 million just with a skill book alone, which is not actually completely, what do you call it? It's not the best ISK to LP, based on what we were looking at before, but it's decent. It's decent. And that's just a very small example of how these level 3 missions work, how to convert them into ISK, and how easy it can be to make about 100 to 200 million ISK on an alpha character in a day just by doing level 3 missions. Yes, they can get boring, and there's plenty of other ways to play the game, but if you do this maybe twice a week or once a week, you can fund something like PvP, Frigate PvP, Tech 1 for a week. So yeah, it's 1 hour maybe of doing 10 missions a day. That will give you 30,000 LP. Take that 30,000 LP, buy 2 of these books, sell it for, I don't know, 30, 40 million on market, get your 40 million, put it into frigates, blow it all up in space. That's what a lot of people do. Or you can just addict this and become an ISK billionaire just by running level 3 missions. Now, let's recap some of the key points. The first one, which I didn't really harp on too much about, was I am in low security space. I am in null security space, to be more precise. There's a reason for this. The lower the security, the better the reward. It's a common rule of thumb. Don't waste your time in high security space doing level 3 missions when there is space like this out there, which is quiet. It's easy to do. If anything, it's probably safer than low security space, and sometimes even high security space, because the population's so much smaller. So I'm in low security space, null security space. I'm going to get better ISK rewards. I'm going to get better loyalty points. Have your fit, know how your fit works. Make sure you know your optimals. Understand where you're tanking. Are you tanking in hull? Are you tanking in armor? Are you tanking in shield? These are very important because, for example, my ship, because it is a shield tank ship, if this ship is out of shield, I am not waiting around to find out what happens. I will die. I will blow up. So know your limits. Know when to pull out of a mission. It's not bad. Just go back, repair up, and go back and finish the mission. It's not a big deal. So know exactly what the limits of your ship are. Know your optimals, and make sure you have enough ammo. The third point is, and this is pretty much probably one of the more important points, is know your surroundings. Know the people in the space that you're in and what they're capable of. Use your D-scan to understand what's going on. If you see something that's too close or it looks suspicious, just go somewhere safe. Maybe create a safe point when you go into your mission and walk to your safe point. Do not forget to put deployables and probes onto your D-scan. This is probably the mistake I see a lot of new players make, where they don't put the probes, which we used in the last episode, the combat probes in particular, onto their D-scan, and then they don't see when they're getting scanned down. A ship warps to them, they go, how did he find me? And you blow up. That's how they found you. Combat probes. Last but not least, LP store. So we talked about it just then. I'm not going to go on about it too much. Use your loyalty points closer to trade hubs. Don't use them 20 to 30 jumps out of a trade hub if you are going to convert your loyalty points to ISK. You do not want to end up taking 20 jumps with about 100 mil worth of cargo, even if it is high security space, and blowing up before you make it to the trade hub and losing all your loot. That is probably one of the worst ways to lose everything. Find a trade hub that's close to the faction that you're doing missions with, and basically go and buy your stuff closer. Because if you do buy your stuff closer, it's less risk of you dying. Alrighty, that's level 3 missions in a nutshell. We did talk about how to get the standings to get to here. If you haven't seen that episode, check out the distribution missions video. If you want to see more content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm Eve Noob, signing off.